Watch this. In Nigeria, the criminals that are supposed to be prosecuted are the ones conferred titles of honor.
So it's a breaking news, and we hear that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has conferred the second highest national honors on Mr. Gilbert Chaguri. And it's funny that many Nigerians, because he has white skin, they're asking, who is the guy, who is this guy, is this guy? Okay, so for basics and for official information, he is a Nigerian Lebanese. He was born in Nigeria to a Lebanese parents, and he's been doing business in Nigeria. He's a co-founder of the Chagori Group. And that is what you need to know. He's an investor. Banana Island, the Atlantic City, and a lot of other things in Lagos. But unofficially, he is known as the Jagaban's godfather. So those of you that think that Tinubu does he has a godfather, that's a lie. Mr. Gilbert Chaguri. And with this conferment, it confirms it clearly that his birthday was on the 8th of January, and now he's a GCON, Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger. Unfortunately, we don't read here, so we don't know. But this guy has been involved. He's been on ground for a while. He was one of Abacha's strongest men, laundering money for a lot of Abacha. That's why a lot of people cannot deny the fact that Tinubu knows what happened to MK Abiola, and of course, they was working closely with the military. People have said that recently, and you are arguing. Those people know what they are saying. Tinubu was funding the anti-Abiola regime, and he was going to look like Abiola, blah, 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 I'm with you and all that. My guy Emma Saddam, made a very powerful illustration. It was an eye-opener for me. I've heard a couple of small stories, but when he made that illustration on his YouTube, it was mind-blowing. I shared it a while ago. I'm going to share it again. Maybe I'll take permission from him to share that video again. And it's going to be an essay. So go on his YouTube, Emma Saddam Show, and look for it. It's an over 30 minutes exposition. Very many videos do not expose as much as he did. But I'll share except of it so you can go and check it. Tinubu, when I told you that this guy got the contract for the Coastal Highway without bidding, $11 billion contract for the Coastal Highway. His company got it without bidding. Is the reason Tinubu goes to France to chill, to rest for official medical tourism. Is the reason. Chaguri. Oh, wow. Watch the video, my brothers and sisters. No rest. Where you not go now, you don't know. See, he doesn't have a godfather. The Coastal Highway is being constructed to link all his businesses together in Lagos. I'm telling you. But watch the video. Don't go sleep.
Who is the godfather of the Jagaban himself? Who is the godfather of the Jagaban himself? Well, dear Nigerians, I present to you the man called Gilbert Chaguri. He's not your average businessman. He was born to Lebanese parents in Nigeria, so he's Lebanese Nigerian, as the case may be. He has built an empire. He has built numerous empires. Well known in the 90s as allegedly the money launderer to Sani Abacha, the late General Sani Abacha, the man that laundered funds for Sani Abacha in the 90s, the man that was laundering Nigerians' money for Sani Abacha in the 90s. And do you guys remember the whole story that was painted about Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that Nadeco created Nadeco, was part of Nadeco, he used Nadeco to fight Abacha's regime? What is Bola Ahmed Tinubu doing with the man that laundered money for Abacha? Did he really fight Abacha, or was he the inside man to Abacha? These are questions that I think we should begin to ask ourselves as a country, because if your godfather today was the person laundering money for Abacha, I begin to wonder, were you really at war with Abacha, or were in business with Abacha? Why do you have another launderer of the Abacha's regime as your current minister of budgeting and planning, Tiku Bagudu? For a man that built his charisma or his character around fighting for democracy, fighting the Abacha regime, it is weird to hear or imagine that your characters around you are people that were the closest to Abacha. If you were just dealing with, probably some few ministers of Abacha, some people that would have been in government, there are some people that they call Ajip, any government in power. It's understandable, because those people, they are always gallivanting around the corridors of power, looking for one, filling up their portfolios, looking for an office or other. It's understandable. But when the key people that laundered finance for Abacha are your men, I begin to question truly if you are an Abacha's ally or an Abacha's enemy. And I hope Nigerians begin to understand these issues I'm discussing here today. Gilbert Chagori was not just a money launderer for Abacha. He has been. I will see most of this on your screens for you to understand. He has been fined in the United States for illegal campaign donations using straw donors. He has had his run-ins with international law enforcement. In Nigeria, he is very powerful. He is known as the owner of Eco Atlantic City. He literally owns Eco Atlantic City. In the US, he's very controversial. And in France, he is untouchable. That is the current godfather of Jagaban. So for him to have been there his sixth time, it's probably he's going to give every quarter a report to his godfather on what he has done, breakdown on deals, contracts, because he has given this man a whole lot of contracts, of which we will be exposing a whole lot of them on the platform today. A whole lot of contracts have gone to Chagori's firms, courtesy of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu, right from his days as Lagos State Governor till today. So it is not a relationship that is just a relationship of today. It is a relationship that has been for over 25 years. So if he has been in relationship with this man for over 25 years, stretching back to 1999, then you begin to ask questions. Truly, was Bola Ahmed Tinubu an ally to Abacha, or really an enemy? Or the question they asked, or the question of that have been put outside there, him being an asset to the CIA, as released by my very good friend, someone that I respect a whole lot, David Hundeyi. It is important Nigerian begins to ask these questions. Who is this man that occupied the city in Aso Rock? What are his deals? What is he doing with the finances of the country? So let's dive into who Gilbert Chagori is a little bit. He's not your average businessman. He's a billionaire. I'm trying to be very careful with my words here so that I do not say things that are not accurate here. I'm saying things that I can remember, things that I've done a little research on for you guys to understand. Is that under Obasanjo or under Jonathan that he was exiled of Nigeria? One of those two regimes made the exiled him out of Nigeria. He was a known money launderer for Abacha. It's not a hidden fact. Everybody knows about this. Everybody that knows about what's happening in Nigeria knows about this. Probably the common Nigerians I'm trying to pass this message to right now do not know. Or they know that he laundered money for Abacha, but do not know his deep ties and connection to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now you might begin to ask, why is Chagori based in France? Why? What is he doing in France? It's simple. No extradition to Nigeria. He has wealthy friends, wealthy connections back in France. It's a perfect hideout for a billionaire of his status. It's a perfect hideout for him where he can stay, and every quarterly he calls his boy to come and give him account of how he's running his country, because he owns Nigeria. That is the original owner of Nigeria right now as we speak. Ladies and gentlemen, Gilbert Chagori owns Nigeria. The juiciest of contracts goes to him and his firms. We'll be reading out some of them today on the Emir Saddam show. How far and how deep rooted these ties between him and the president is. And this is where it all gets all juicy, because the Chagori's group have been involved in key projects in Lagos, including the massive Eco Atlantic real estate and the sea reclamation project. That so-called he tamed the Atlantic Ocean was done by his godfather. The actual tamer of the Atlantic Ocean, the actual tamer is no other person than the billionaire Gilbert Chagori himself. He tamed the Atlantic Ocean. His boy took took bragging rights. That is one of the most expensive lands in Africa, dare say in the world. The man controls and sits on wealth that it can only be imagined. Such men do not appear on Forbes list, and that's why when I see most people talk about Forbes list, I just laugh and I'm like, Forbes list consists of billionaires that their wealth can be accounted for. In reality, So many people on earth here that are more wealthier than those people on Forbes list, but their names can't be on Forbes list because their wealth cannot be accounted for. Their wealth has no ties to businesses, shady deals across different spheres, so you cannot tie their wealth. So let's dive into why Bola Ahmed Tinubu is in France. And it hit me. I think I'm sounding similar to how many Nigerians will be wondering, why France? Of all countries, we don't even speak French. And at a point in time where French colonized nations in Africa are breaking ties with France, including our neighboring country, Nigeria Republic, to Burkina Faso, to Mali, to Senegal. These are French-speaking countries. And you see, with the colonization of Africa in Africa, the colonial masters, the British are more cunning. They're like, leave you guys, but they run things from behind the scenes. They control this and that behind the scenes, control key actors and policies in a very subtle way. But with the French, it is aggressive. Hopefully in subsequent episodes on the Emir Saddam show, I will talk about how much the French has held back Francophone speaking nations in Africa. How they created a separate currency for these guys that is in the Bank of France, in the central bank in France, and how they give people money like it is crazy. They come into your country, these their French countries, take all their wealth, all their mineral resources, convert the money and tell them, okay, no, we'll give you some. We are not capable. You guys are not yet wise enough to know how to use money. So as a big daddy, you take this and take that. And all these African countries say enough is enough. There's a reason why a 90-something-year-old man is still the president of Cameroon today, Paul Biya, because he's a total stooge to the French government. How can a 90-something-year-old man still be president in Africa today? Because the French are very comfortable with it. The same thing happened across Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, Senegal, and all those countries. They stood up and said, no, enough is enough. We can see the transformation going on in Burkina Faso today. In the space of 3 years, they kicked the French out. Nigerians are inviting the French because of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's ties. There is not one thing in 2 years you can point and say the French have done to Nigeria. Tinubu, why do you keep going to France? Why do you keep going to France? What is special in France? Are they about to start giving Nigerian free visas? Are they coming to build multinational companies in Nigeria? What is that special interest you have in France that we have not seen in 2 years? And as we speak right now, as this episode is being aired, he's still in France, hopefully to come back. Some say he has gone there for health issues. Some say he has gone there to rest. The official statement is that he has gone there to appraise, for a self-appraisal of what he has done in 2 years, for the great things he has done. How he has given Nigeria quality education. How he has created a Nigeria whereby we have 24 hours light now. All the roads are being worked on. The economy is right now the best ever. How a dollar right now is equal to a naira. How fuel is so cheap and available more than water. Bola Tinubu has done a great job for Nigerians right now that he is in France resting, saying, oh, what a great job I've done. I deserve this rest. I deserve this rest. Nigerians. And Nigerians applaud. Yes, sir, you deserve the rest. You have done so much for us. That is why he's resting in France today. Meanwhile, the reality is that Nigeria is burning. People are being slaughtered. From Plateau to Benue to the incident in Edo State to Enugu State. Constant killings. Across the country is blood flowing everywhere. In the midst of all these things, Tinubu is chilling in France and his deputy had the audacity to travel. I went to Senegal. Nigerian presidency that we are sitting under APC is just a joke. It's a joke. And it's a joke that Nigerians must begin to call out. So when powerful people like Chakori are still chilling in France, and I have tried in the course of my submission to put the piece together for you guys to understand that this man is in France. He lives in France. Chakori lives in France. Chakori was the one that was given that ultimate, the biggest contract ever in Tinubu's history. The building of the so-called coastal road from Lagos to Calabar. That contract was given to Chakori's company. I cannot remember any public bidding that was made. I cannot remember that passing through due process through the Senate or anything. It was just given. That contract is estimated to cost trillions to the Nigerian finance. Trillions. I don't know. It is mind-boggling that of all the companies in the world, Bola Tinubu found it fit to give his so-called super coastal highway project to is a company owned by Gilbert Chagori. Define conflict of interest to me, Nigerians, please. To those that continue to support this criminal attitude of this government, I want to ask you, what is conflict of interest to you? How can you explain that the company of his godfather is a company that has been given the rights for the road? And Nigerian politicians are the luckiest, because Nigerians are so easy to please. Do the road now. He did do the road now. Shey they do the road. As long as they do the road now, they know wahala now. Make him even use his hand do am. There's no accountability. There's no due diligence. There is no pressure on these people. We just allow them to do whatever they like. Oh, what a great feeling to be a Nigerian politician. The greatest feeling ever any man can have is being a Nigerian politician, because you will have everything you want. Nigerians will give it to you. You don't even need to stress yourself. And for people like us that want to hold them accountable, fellow Nigerians will tell you, be careful, oh, what did they talk, oh, Saddam, they careful, oh, hey. Some will insult you. Some will call you names because you dare to speak truth to power. This isn't about gossip or about hate for the man called Tinubu. No, it's about governance in the country. If key decisions, financial deals, and political strategies are being made offshore in France, what happens to accountability? What happens to democracy? What happens to Nigeria? That we are sitting in Nigeria and decisions are being made about Nigeria from a penthouse in Paris, or probably in Monaco, or probably somewhere else in one little place. It's wherever it is, but not in Nigeria. And every quarter, the godson goes to France and give appraisal to his master. Is this the kind of governance Nigeria wants?